Thanks for joining us once again. My name is Daniel Dazen. Now, the selling of children into slavery in some coastal communities in the central region is fast becoming a norm. Many parents in some coastal communities in the central region say the dwindling fish stock in recent times accounts for the upsurge in the phenomenon because there is no alternative job for them beyond fishing. Fishing is the major source of income and livelihood for most women and men in the area. Richard Kojonyako has been spending time in some of the coastal communities and reports the poverty situation in such areas is also forcing many girls into prostitution.
It's a Tuesday morning and the sea whispers gently in the ears of residents here at Brewa. The fishermen here have a day of rest. In the house of 34-year-old Ama Awi, a mother of 6, is 12-year-old Kwesiata her son. I left here 4 years ago. It hasn't been easy. We were starved, beaten with the slightest provocation. In the night, we are crammed in one kiosk to battle it out with mosquitoes. Kwesi is a returnee. He recently returned from Côte d'Ivoire after he was sent into slavery. His account from his toils is chilling. In Esinyamiche's compound is 13-year-old Kofi, a class 1 pupil, another returnee. He and Kwesiata worked in hazardous environment and worked under dangerous conditions on the sea. I am happy to be back home. It got to a point I wanted to run away, but where was I going to run to? There are dozens of children from the Brewa community and other fishing communities in the central region who are still in slavery with their dreams of education shattered. Kwesiata's mother, after allowing the child to travel to Côte d'Ivoire to work as a slave boy, had a change of mind after an education campaign by some NGOs and decided to trace where the child was. She says many children in the community have gone that way because poverty is swallowing them. You see that many people here send their children into slavery. Some are paid money while others are not. Mine, for instance, I didn't collect anything from them because if you collect money, they will maltreat your child. I can't stand my child being maltreated. The fortunes in the sea have depleted, and both fishermen and fishmongers along the coast of the central region are dejected. The men go to the sea and return with little or no catch. Many of the women here in this community say if there isn't any intervention and alternatives for them, many children are likely to be sold into slavery by their parents. Judith Ansa is a teacher in this fishing community of Brewa. For Judith, the situation gets alarming by the minutes girls as early as 10 enter into prostitution.
Fathers or per se parents, are not educated. Most of them don't see even a need to bring them. So there are a lot of pupils at home. And then sometimes too, 1 or 2 occasions, you see that some of the students are not coming anymore. You do follow up. You find out the child has been sent to a particular place. Sometimes they promise them the child is going to work, and at the end of the month, they will gain something to take care of the others. They even sow gari for them, and some have their way with them.
Friends of the Nation, an NGO that works at the coastal part of the country, is extremely worried about the phenomenon and want urgent attention to be paid to this matter. Kwesi Johnson is a member.
Many fishermen will tell you that they wish they obey the law. But if you obey the law, other people are breaking the law and they are not being punished. So why should I obey the law and go hungry? So the government should enforce the law totally so that the fish stocks will be rejuvenated.
The fast depleting fish stocks has made many coastal dwellers who depend solely on the sea vulnerable. Many are likely to sell off their children into slavery if no alternatives are provided them. Richard Kojonyako, Joy News, Cape Coast.
Some good news now, and the 9-year-old boy whose accident in a vehicle knockdown inspired the Joy News documentary A Boy's Wish has had his wish come true 3 years after the tragedy. When Jeremiah Arthur was knocked down by a car in 2016, his left leg was chopped off at the scene while the other was fractured, leaving him with no chance at all of walking again until his story was featured in a Joy News documentary. Thanks to a number of interventions which have come his way, including the offer by the Orthopedic Training Center at Nsawam to give him a prosthetic leg, Jerry is back on his feet. Manasseh Azuriawene, who produced the documentary, was at Nsawam when Jerry took his first steps after the operation and reports.
With his prosthetic leg, Jerry can now move on his own without a wheelchair or clutches. Since a car veered off the road and knocked him in his school in June 2016, he's always relied on his wheelchair or on others to move from one point to the other. After nearly 2 months at Nsawam, however, he's going back to Takoradi in a condition that brings a lot of relief to his mother, Betty Mensah.
Admission up to date.
They gave me a date to bring him to be treated. When I brought him, they admitted him and treated him at no cost to us. They watched the documentary and said that was their way of supporting Jerry. This has taken a lot of burden from us. At school, he used to complain about being tired of sitting. Now he can stand and walk. He can walk to the bathroom by himself.
Ntizesi ame say senior ya ne nan ama na otumi gina ho no okosku na obra obetumi gina ho anante kakra ebi okodware afie enye me na me pagya no biom ono abetumi akọ obetumi use a toilet room ono abetumi aye bibi nketen binti ebeboa.
For Jeremiah Arthur, his new condition makes him more sociable among his peers.
I can walk. I can use the steps now.
Okay. And what else?
And I can play a bit.
Okay. In the washroom, do you need somebody to take you to the washroom, or you can go to the washroom on your own now?
I can go to the washroom on my own.
So, can you tell me your situation is now better than it used to be?
Yes.
Going to school, how would this make you feel when you're going back to school in this condition?
I'll be happy.
The director of the Orthopedic Training Center, Reverend Sister Elizabeth Newman, tells Joy News Jerry would need regular maintenance and replacement of the prosthetic leg as he grows.
A child like Jeremiah, he will need repairs every year. He will need a new artificial leg maybe every 4 or 5 years until he's fully grown. And that's an expense. And his situation is that there should have been some kind of court case. There should have been some money put aside to him for the future. Because his leg is always going to be missing and he will always need a new one. And so I think this is where the country has to be a little more serious about people who do this to children.
She says Jerry shows a lot of promise, and with the needed support, his future looks bright.
We always used to smile in church services. Whenever Father would ask questions, Jeremiah's hand went up and he always had the answers. So I think Jeremiah, he has a very good personality. He's an outgoing child. He's not a child that he's going to sit in the corner and you have to draw him out. So I think with his personality and with a good education, he will be able to take care of himself. And that's our hope and desire and dream for every child here.
After the Joy News documentary, Bayport Savings and Loans pledged to offer Jerry a scholarship. A representative of the company, Mavis Siada, was at Nsawam to meet Jerry and his parents to finalize the paperwork for the scholarship.
The educational scholarship would cover Jerry's tuition right from now, from primary 4 second term, which takes effect from May this year, until Jerry completes his tertiary education.
After using a wheelchair for nearly 3 years, Jerry is still adjusting to life on his feet. It is not a perfect condition, but it means a lot and changes a lot in the family, especially his mother, who has served as his legs all these years. For Joy News, Manasseh Azore Arena reporting.
Joy News indeed gets results. To a sad story, however, and residents of Abripo, a suburb of Kumasi, say they are living in fear after they woke up to find bodies of 2 women dumped along a popular footpath in the area. Residents of Abripo in the Ashanti region have been thrown into a state of shock as 2 middle-aged women were found dead close to a stream Thursday morning. Residents say the lifeless bodies of the deceased were discovered by some pupils on their way to school. Residents tell Joy News the victims are not known residents of the community. They suspect the women were killed elsewhere and dumped in the vicinity.
Yeah, I had grandpa say,
This kind of death is very worrying. We have never seen this in this community before. Route to school. We all use this route to work, and children pass here to school. This has really put fear in us.
Around 6 a.m., school pupils informed us of the dead women. This situation has made it quite scary for pupils to continue using this route, especially at night, even though it is their usual route. Such a thing has never happened here before, so we are now very scared.
Now, the bodies have since been removed by the police. Chief of the area, Otumfo Apredehene Chiame Nana Kofi Inti Kakra, poured libation to purify the land. According to him, the assailants will be discovered due to the purification. Let's get the latest from Kwesi Deborah, who has been following the story. Kwesi, has the police made any statement about the incident, and have the bodies been identified?
Yes, Daniel, we tried speaking with the police, but unfortunately it was, of course, the crime officers were around. That stopped.
Right, Deborah, it's becoming a bit difficult to hear you. If you can reposition yourself and repeat that statement. Kwesi?
Yes.
Right, it's a bit difficult to hear you, so please reposition yourself and go back to that. You were talking about the police crime.
Daniel, can you hear me now?
It's great. Let's hear you.
Hello, is that okay?
Yes, let's hear you.
Yes, we tried speaking with the police. They came around 7:30 to pick the bodies, and these are 2 bodies, lifeless bodies of 2 women. But we tried speaking with them, but they told us they've not carried out the necessary. They are trying to gather information around, because we had a woman who told us that she knows one of the deceased. So they try interrogating her, and they picked her up to the police station. So they told us that maybe in about some 5 hours time they will be done with the preliminary investigation, so that we can question them as to what really resulted in the whole thing.
What more have the residents been saying?
Yeah, we've been trying to speaking with some people who claim they know the deceased, and one of them said that one of the deceased, that's a fair one, she sells popcorn around the Abreport Junction there. That's what they've been telling us. And also, that area is close to a stream, and they've gone to authorities to ask them that they bring street lights around the place. The place is a bit darker when it's in the night. So they tried telling them that they should try and bring something, as it were, street lights to the place, but that thing has not been heeded too. And also, we spoke with the assemblyman who told us that because of the situation, since they have not been able to resolve the light situation there, they've told them, that's the residents, that when they are passing around the area, they should move in twos and not be moving alone in the night. And so this is what the residents have been telling us. They think the place is quite dangerous, and all efforts to address that light situation hasn't been heeded to.
Thank you very much, Kwesi Deborah, for that update. Now, we stay with the issue of security, because the Interior Minister, Ambrose Derry, says he is hopeful the 3 Takoradi missing girls will be found soon. Speaking on the sidelines of the annual review meeting of the ministry, he stated his outfit will be bringing any support it can bring in to help find the girls.
The missing girls, the police, we are on top that we must get in. And we are bringing in whatever support we can get from outside. Because we are talking of our girls. And they are the future. And girls are that. I mean, I believe that the empowerment of women and girls is a matter that we cannot joke with. So yes, it's a very painful exercise for us. We are very, very hopeful that none of them has been killed. We are very hopeful. And we would get to where we have to get to. And you know, it's even so much that other ministries, like the gender ministry, has come in, and you can see how she's passionate about getting the girls back. We believe and we pray to God that we'll get our girls back.
Priscilla Blessing Bentum, aged 21, who went missing on August 17, 2018 at Kansarado in the Efia-Kwesiminti municipality. Ruth Love Kwesen, aged 18, went missing on December 4, 2018 at Butumejebu Junction, popularly called BU Junction, in the twin city of Sekondi Takrady. The third is Priscilla Kranche, 15 years of age, who went missing on December 21, 2018 at Nkrofo. The police have since arrested and placed in custody Samuel Udotek Wales, a Nigerian suspect who is suspected to have been involved in the kidnapping of the girls. He previously escaped from police custody under bizarre circumstances, but was recaptured sleeping in an abandoned building. Still on security, the Northern Regional Minister and the Chairman of the Regional Security Council has commended the security services for risking their lives to stabilize the situation in Tripoli and its environs. He spoke to the media after a Regional Security Council meeting this morning.
Met to review the unfortunate inter-ethnic conflict of the Tripoli district, as well as that of Saboba district, where the Anufos, popularly known as the Chakosis, as well as the Konkomba community, have this unfortunate violent confrontation, which has led to the destruction of lives and property. As a result of that, the security put in all their expertise together. The military, the police, the BNI, and all other security sister agencies, particularly the police and the military as well as the BNI, they've done a yeoman's job in the affected communities, that to contain and arrest the intermittent attacks and burning of communities as well as farm produce. Looking into it, the security made some arrests, 8 people, and yesterday 6 were sent to court, and they are into the prison custody. They have been remanded, and the others, they are working on them. They will also be thrown behind the prison so that further investigations will take place. But the security officers, despite the difficulties on the ground in both Cherpune and Saboba districts, they have been able to marshal their men and women and confronted the issue head on. And that is why we have that uneasy calm in that part of our region. One other important thing that Regional Security Council want to send across to the warring factions has to do with the fact that the security men and women cannot be in every hamlet in the 2 districts. but the hotspots, the security are there. The citizens of those areas, especially the two youth groups of the two ethnic groups, that is the Anufos and that of the Konkombes, they should come down to join Regional Security Council, as well as their politicians. Politicians from both ethnic communities should leave their work wherever they are, whether within the region, in Kumasi, Accra. They should come down and team be suffering whilst they are in their areas.
Away from security and to Parliament now, and Speaker Professor Aaron Michael Quay is urging members of Parliament to take the sitting of the House seriously. His comments follow low numbers on the floor when sitting started around 10:15 a.m. today. He told MPs they need to prioritize sitting.
We have an appointment. With a good, you are called to Parliament, and we have an appointment with the good people of Ghana, particularly the young ones who come to listen to their Parliament. I will pray that we take this obligation seriously. If we take our nation seriously, we should take this obligation seriously. Because it's by the combined effort of all of us doing our bit that there can be progress and development in this country. This is a very important imperative. And please tell police we need to do our duty at the plenary before anything else. Honorable members, please take note.
When sitting commenced today, Health Minister Kweku Agyemang-Manu was absent to respond to questions. Majority Chief Whip Amiyao Treme told the House he was unable to reach the minister for explanation on why he couldn't show up. Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu urged ministers to take the House seriously.
You are called to Parliament in the exercise of oversight in the name of parliamentary questions more seriously, particularly so that you have a minister assisted by deputy ministers. So even when the minister is not available, we should have a deputy minister stand in his stead. But to have this zero vacuum, no minister, no deputy, Speaker Amiyao, because of his affability, won't hold you. The sins are not yours. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, maybe we'll get Mr. Speaker's directive on this matter. Is there a listed answer at all?
No, Mr. Speaker, it's an urgent question. So there's not a published answer, which a deputy, even if a deputy minister were to be around, will be able to answer to.
To health now, and the Ministry of Health is meeting with students of the College of Nursing at Ntotroso in the Ahafo region. This is to find solutions to the impasse between the students and the principal over the past few weeks. A board member of the College of Nursing in Ntotroso in the Esutifi North District of the Ahafo region, Nano Usuentri, says students who fail to attend school for 21 days will be dismissed. The trainee nurses are agitating over the continuous stay in office of the school's principal, Alhaji Abdul Karim Boachi Yadom, who they have leveled some allegations against. Our correspondent Precious Semevo has an update on the situation.
The students, they have a petition that they sent to the Ministry of Health as well as the Ntotroso Manhene. Now, they listed a 20-point allegation against the principal. Now, some of them, they are alleging that the principal, bills them an amount for internal clinicals, which never happened, and it runs into millions of Ghana cedis. Now, they are also saying that even food that they will eat in the school is brought from Kumasi, and the matrons do not have an idea how foodstuffs are purchased. In fact, it's a full list of allegations that is made against the principal. But as we understand, the Ministry of Health has set in and they are investigating. But there was a bit of standoff when the school was closed down. But the information I've picked this morning, Dennis, is that a delegation from the Ministry of Health, as we speak, is meeting with a general student body together with a select committee representing the board of directors. Now, the delegation has backed down on some of the conditions they gave the students in order to return to school. Now, one of them is they can now sign the bond, but without their parents. The school can continue to process their documents for them so that they can take their allowance. And also they have access to the dormitories as we speak now, so they will no longer have to sleep outside, and lectures will have to resume since the students will be writing their final exams, particularly the final years, in less than 2 months. But it's a promise from the ministry that the investigation or the allegations against the principal will be investigated and the outcome will be communicated. But as it stands now, they should allow peace to reign at the college campus.
So the Central Region now and the Central Region Development Commission, SEDECOM, is seeking the support of traditional authorities and members of parliament in the region to help lift the region from its current state as the 4th poorest region in Ghana. The commission says despite abundant resources, the health, the heritage and rich culture of the people, the unemployment rate and the level of poverty leaves much to be desired. Addressing the traditional leaders and members of parliament from the Central Region, acting CEO of the commission, Spencer Taylor, said traditional leaders and members of parliament have a crucial role to play to improve the situation in the region. Richard Kojonyako has more in the following report.
According to the Central Regional Development Commission, notwithstanding the rich investment potentials which abound in the Central Region, there is a significant depth of investment in the region. This situation, they say, has largely resulted in high levels of unemployment and reduced economic growth in the Central Region. The meeting that took place at the Central Regional House of Chiefs was to see how best the traditional leaders and the members of parliament from the region could commit to practical steps to woo investors into the region and to provide resources to help improve the lives of the people in the area. Addressing the House of Chiefs, acting CEO of SEDECOM, Spencer Taylor, called on the parliamentarians and the chiefs to look at the best way of helping to overturn the current description of the region as the 4th poorest in Ghana.
So our meeting here is to begin the process of bringing Nanano and MPs on board, have a common platform to discuss key issues that pertain to investments in the Central Region and how best these issues can be dealt. If there are negative issues, we remove them. Positive ones, we deepen them so that at the end of the day, the region will move from the 4th poorest to the 1st richest region in Ghana.
MP for Asen Central, Kennedy Japan, warned the region cannot afford to depend solely on government for its needs. He encouraged the chiefs to help release land to investors to develop their respective areas rather than selling the lands for their personal gains.
We want to take this region's destiny into our own hands. We are not going to wait for the president to bring peanuts because Ochiche, Ghana's Kenya Ochiche, a Kwana Airport Kaku, Ubedu no Sisi Amok, Ubedu Kaku, no Sisi Amok. You will go back again. So that the onus is on young MPs, politicians, and all region to make sure that you have accessible aid to Kakum Forest. At ease, Nipan Ko Noaba. These are the practical things we have to be doing. We have to sell this region. But before we can sell the region, we should make sure that we have certain things in place. Onipebi Baha, or you're disappointed. Or you're disappointed, message in about destroy everything that we are doing.
The MP for Chufu Etimokwa, Abraham Jumaudum, also urged the chiefs to open their doors to receive the numerous investment opportunities that are coming. The Regional House of Chiefs expressed their appreciation to SEDECOM and the MPs for such a move that seeks to bring smiles on the faces of the people in the region. Richard Kojonyako, Joy News, Cape Coast.